Science Expo, an interactive and fun exhibition space hosted by the University of Otago as part of this year's New Zealand International Science Festival. With over 20 stalls showcasing science research at the university, the Expo features a range of interactive activities to get everyone excited about the science happening all around us.
At the same time?
Cocktail time!
Wow! I picked up two and then, wait, what were these ones called?
Let's have a look. Anatomy is the study of the human body. And to have an idea about the complexity of the human body, we're about to go see a live dissection of a deer heart. Let's check it out.
But the thing to remember about the heart is that it's a pump.
Let's have a poke around.
Inside the start of the artery, we have these little flaps called valves.
This might look a bit barbaric, but it actually says a lot about the strength of our tissues.
These things here, which are the arteries, which supply the heart muscle. So the muscle, to beat 3 billion times.
We've prodded, we've explored, and now we move on. Zoology is the study of animals. So what are we going to learn today?
Both Aiden and I are studying how invertebrates, little critters in the river, may have a story to tell.
So to mimic what a natural research environment would be like, if this was a river, we'd be finding here where the living organisms are. And by looking at the number that there are in the diversity, we can see what type of ecology there is. Let's have a closer look at what we found. Oh my God, so freaky. We're not only looking at the science here on Earth, we're also exploring the science out in space. More specifically, gravitational waves.
So gravitational waves are ripples in space-time and only occur when you have very heavy objects going very, very fast. In fact, accelerating. So what we're going to try and do is do a demo of that. Two black holes orbiting each other at very high speed.
Might be too fast to see to the naked eye.
When you slow it down on camera too, you can see that it looks like a really nice spiral pattern.
Amazing. Space on a surface. We have Sam here, also from the Orokonui Eco Sanctuary, who's got some critters for us. What do you have here?
So this is a West Coast bush sweater. So this one's called Howard. A lot of conservation work has been done with them.
And what type of conservation efforts do you do to conserve a species like this?
Auckland Zoo in particular, they have done so much awesome work with this species. So they've made husbandry techniques, captively kept and bred the species, and they've bred and released over, I think, 5,000 giant weta onto various offshore islands.
After all this conservation work, it's time for Howard to have a much-deserved break.
I know, sweetheart.
Now you might think this is sorcery, but it's not. It's science. Is this a magnet?
This is actually not. So this is an example of a superconductor. If we heat it up, it's essentially just a lump of ceramic. But so when we cool this material down, the structure, the properties of this material change completely. If we change the temperature of this material, we can turn it from a lump of ceramic into a superconductor. The defining property of a superconductor, the resistance in the material goes to zero, so we can induce currents and they stay there forever. And whenever we have currents, we've got magnetic fields, and so we can interact with this magnetic field and it causes it to levitate.
Interesting. Wingardium Leviosa. Now, the one thing this Science Expo aims to achieve is to engage wider audiences and disseminate science. And this is exactly what the Center for Science Communication does. So in this stall, what they're doing is some stop motion camera. People will place pieces and play and pause the scene so that over some time, with the development and movement of the pieces, you can get a short film of stop motion action. Then on this side, they're also working on some animation. And animations are a great way to be able to convey and communicate what can sometimes be complex into something more simplified, using images and sounds and movement. From the smallest microorganisms to the vast depths of space and everything in between. This was New Zealand's International Science Festival, Science Expo 2021.